long term. Zac Goldsmith is the Conservative parliamentary candidate for Richmond and North Kingston in south-west London. Hello to you.
Hello.
Former journalist Martin Bell, who stood as an independent MP. Hello.
Good morning.
Right, in the long run, Martin Bell, is this going to be a good thing?
I think it is. I had no idea how bad things were. I had some notion. I've actually spent the last 5 days in Somalia. I got back this morning and saw all this stuff. I couldn't believe my eyes. I also think that historically in this country, you have to have a scandal before you get proper reform. And we've had the mother of all scandals. So yes, I think we're going to come out better for this. But in the meantime, public interest, public trust in public life is at an all-time low, and they've done it to themselves.
What will be better in the end, then? Will it change the kind of people who go into politics? Obviously, the transparency side, we'd like to think, will be, much improved. I
would like to think that we'll no longer have people who go into politics in the hope that someone else will pay to clean their boats or buy their bath plugs.
But do you genuinely believe people went into politics with that hope?
I think politics actually does tend to attract rather driven people. It's a little bit like journalism, if I may say so. But a general laxness spread, and they awarded themselves these pay rises through the back door. I'm astonished at the extent to which members of Parliament cannot see themselves as others see them. They've got this sense of their own invulnerability, and that's now been blown away, and I think that's a very good thing.
Zac Goldsmith, do you accept that without scandal, as Martin Bell says, there would be no reform?
Well, it depends on the reform. I mean, this could be a good thing. I don't think it will. I think, I was canvassing last night in Richmond, and people are sort of unanimously disgusted with the political class. And I don't think minor tinkering, reform, apologies, I don't think any of that's enough. You can't legislate for decency. If there's a will to abuse power, then politicians will find a way. And I don't think the expense thing is in itself the problem. I think the problem is that people are absolutely distanced from and disengaged from politics itself. And unless we change the way we do politics itself in this country, and that requires radical reform, I think this will be just the beginning of a general decline. I think that the only real check on those people in power is genuine transparency and public opinion. The ultimate test is, do people accept what they're up to or not? And they have to, combined with that, there has to be some kind of mechanism where people can get rid of unpopular or incompetent politicians. It's not a new idea. California, for example, has got a recall mechanism where people, if they collect enough signatures, can trigger a referendum or a recall vote and get rid of someone they don't like. That's how Schwarzenegger became governor.
Rather than having to wait for a general election.
Exactly.
Martin Bell, what do you think about that idea?
I think it has a certain appeal, but it may militate against politicians who take unpopular but necessary decisions. I agree with Zac. I think there's a huge divide opened up between the political class and the people, and I doubt if any candidate, any MP canvassing is going to get this on the doorstep, hot and strong, between now and the next election.